just let the market determine what is the best product at the best price. They have a program, you have subsidies to solar, like Solyndra, and I sort of like the idea of looking into that, but what the market decides which is the best one to use. If government comes along and said, well, what we need to do to get less dependence on the oil coming from overseas, not to make it, easier to drill for oil or whatnot, they'll say, well, we're going to force you to do is use ethanol in your cars. 10% ethanol, well, it will be a mandate, you have to use it. They never ask the question, could that hurt your engines? Some people tell me, it certainly can hurt your engines by burning ethanol. But then they say, well, it has to be warned that they put tariffs on imported ethanol that could be cheaper in order to push the prices up, which then pushes the prices up of corn and other products. So it goes on and on. And guess what? There's one of the best sources of ethanol is from him. So they what we need is a lot more confidence in ourselves. We don't need to be so intimidating that we need so much government. Now, the reason why this message is so appealing now is most people now know that our government is broke. Most people know now that the good jobs have left our country and we have not produced any real good jobs in the last 10 years. This jobs market has been static and the standard of living has been going down. We have 30 million people in this country. So people know that, so that's why they're looking for something else. What they failed to figure out what was happening over these 50, 60, 70 years is that we were wealthy and we could afford all this medicine. Wars that should have been fought and redistribution of wealth and entitlement systems, give everybody free houses, free education, free medical care, and all we did was get higher prices. The housing example is a perfect example of how entitlements backfire and don't work. We're supposed to be in to help poor people get houses. Well, they did for a while, and they used it as a cash cow to borrow this increasing equity. Then the country goes bankrupt, they lose their jobs, and they lose their house. Guess who would get bailed out? The people who are making all the money in the financial markets with the housing money. So very simply, we have to reject the notion that the entitlement system actually works. Since we're broke, we can't continue with this. It doesn't work, it's not right, it's not part of the Constitution. We're now broke, but we need to go back to work. I think what happened to us many years ago is because one of the consequences, and a good consequence of freedom, is prosperity. It's wonderful. But what happened is we concentrated on the material prosperity and we started looking to the government for special favors and redistribution and privileges. And during all that time, we started consuming the wealth that we had, consuming the value of our dollar, and now the treasury is there, they're not producing, and we should concentrate on something we have forgotten about. How do you produce wealth? Concentrate on the free market, private property, contracts, gold standards, balanced budget, and a sensible government policy. System, the liberal economic theories of Keynes and Bernanke and Krugman. worried when wrote the Constitution that we would, as a people, would be careless as we would allow the republic to slip away. They were very precise in the difference between a republic and a democracy. Democratic elections and elected leaders, that was one thing. But pure democracy means that the dictatorship, the majority rules, and it destroys the minority. The minority is demonized by people who can vote away their rights. Just as the minority opinion has voted away your civil liberties, the drug war, or these other wars. So they warn and say, if you're not careful, what will happen is you will not remain a republic, and will become a pure democracy. And a democracy, they claim, would waste our resources if we consume our wealth and then eventually self-destruct. Well, we have wasted a lot, we have consumed a lot, our currency is just, it's not yet worthless, but it has no backing and potentially will become worthless, and we're on the verge of self-destruction. But the very good news is that there are not just tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. I claim that there are millions of people now in this country who are responding to the message of liberty, and they know exactly. It's a revolution of ideas. It's not brand new because it's a continuation of the